Welcome to The Real Build. I'm your host, Bill Reiman, your broker builder, and today we're back for another live episode, and what better yet to celebrate here with a little bit of a 4th of July themed episode. Hope you all are going to have and enjoy America's Day, the 4th of July, but for this special episode, we brought in Mason Blosser. How you doing, Mason?
Doing good. What's up, man?
Yeah, good to have you here. Welcome into the studio for the first time. Doing the rotation with the whole gang, the whole team, and you're third up. So you got quite the background. I'm excited to get into that today because we're going to be talking about setting the standard, and I think you are the best person to talk about that. So we'll get into it, Jay. Let's kick it off. The Real Build is about building better culture, leaders, visionaries, community to better serve the client. I'm your host, Bill Reiman, your broker builder, and I'm here to showcase real business owners building companies with integrity, trust, and a commitment to making a positive impact. Join us as we explore their stories, insights, and strategies for success. With that being said, welcome to The Real Build. So setting the standard, and with RK Reiman Construction, we have some pretty high standards too. But I wanted to get into your background a little bit because you came from somewhere that had the ultimate standards, I'd say. It's that little company actually right behind you there on that license plate, that little vitamin shop.
The little vitamin shop.
So talk about that a little bit, man. Like you and I met in the gym. I was wearing a First Form shirt. I knew where you came from because I've been and I visited that company, and it is very impressive just how everything is. So talk about your background a little bit coming from there.
So I was lucky enough to work at a place called First Form, and although I spent a not too long of a time there, I was able to work there at a pretty critical point in my life, especially as a young man, I would say, where the place that I worked held the highest standard of anywhere I've ever been seen or heard of, pretty much. And I think anyone that's ever traveled to that facility, been around the brand, or knows anyone there would probably say the same thing. And learning that standard of how you do one thing is how you do everything, I think was extremely critical for me being able to develop myself into someone that can hold a standard on my own, in my own lane, and then also bring that same skill set to anything else that I do outside of my own personal life. Where back at First Form, it was to the nth degree of detail. Like as Bill knows, it's every single thing. Like perfection is what is there. There's no cleaning crew there. It's everybody there upholding their own standard, and making sure that everyone's on the same page. And that's something you don't really see often too much anymore, is essentially just excellence and perfection. And that's something that we pride ourselves on too. It's doing the right thing all the time, making sure everything's perfect. Like I went over to a customer's house yesterday evening, and his son was in town with some friends, and I walk in the house, and his son immediately goes, "Are you with the builder?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "I just want to say the fit and finish on this house is like nothing I've ever seen before." And it's like, I was able to take a great deal of pride in that too, because that was the first project where I was kind of just put into the fire of go for it over at the McGinn's. And hearing that, especially at a young age, like I'm a very young guy, being able to uphold the standard again with you guys is something that I really do pride myself on, and I think it's taken me very far so far. But looping it back to First Form, I mean, I genuinely could not thank them enough for the skills, the tools, how to conduct yourself, how to be around people. Like, it was so pivotal in developing me as an individual, and then that led me straight to Bill, just like what an interesting story it was of, I come down here to Southwest Florida, absolutely know nothing about what's going on, and all I knew what to do is control what I can control, hit the gym. And I would go there, lift, didn't really know anyone there, and then I would start seeing Bill come in, only one with a First Form shirt on. And after probably 5 or 6 times of seeing him through the span of a few weeks, eventually I was like, well, if he's wearing a First Form shirt, he's got to uphold the same standard that the entire brand holds as well, too. So I ended up thinking, you know what? He's probably the first guy I can talk to that is on the same page as me, understands where I'm coming from about how to go about navigating through life. And sure enough, we start talking. We get to, having a good time talking to one another. And that led to me end up being like, well, if you ever need help anytime, please let me know. And I mean, the story pretty much writes itself. Yeah.
It's instant. Yeah, I called my brother. I remember that, and I was like, "Hey, we might not have a spot for him right now, but we're finding a spot. So we gotta meet." And then we ended up meeting with you, and the rest was history. I want to go back to kind of what you said there about holding the standard and like kind of taking that over into RK Reiman. And then also the whole thing with the son telling you about. I mean, that's one of the best feelings you can get and why we do this, right? As far as building houses, for somebody to say to you, like, I've never seen a house done to this quality, especially with you managing that project too. And that's why I'm always preaching like the little things. Those are the things that matter, right? Even the outlets, like the screws on the outlets being straight or, not popping out. They're all even. And people may not notice it, but we notice it, and we know. But then again, they do end up noticing it too.
Everybody notices,
and it's those little things that matter too. So talk about like that carryover into now. Some of those things that you're doing for us to stand out as a builder, because we hold a very high standard. I think we're actually pushing it each and every week, trying to like, what can we do better? What can we do better? So talk about that a little bit.
I think one thing that's important too, this is something that I will say Bill and Bobby has really pushed for us too, is like job site cleanliness. I mean, it's really easy in construction to just chalk things up to saying, oh, it's a job site. It is what it is. And, a lot of people are okay with thinking that's just how it is. And for a lot of builders and a lot of construction companies, that's just their standard that they hold. It's just a job site. But for us, like, you guys have made it clear too, like, we don't think of these people as clients. They're homeowners, like we're building these people's literal dream for a lot of these people. And, from the second we break ground, like, you got to essentially think that they're looking over their shoulder or over your shoulder the whole time. And if it was your house, what would you want to be done? Would you want it to be clean every afternoon when the guys leave the job site? I know I would. Even though it's a job site, it's a standard that needs to be held. And I think we do it better than anybody else. I mean, even if it's, you got to tell the subs, hey guys, take 15, 20 minutes at the end of the day. Please just pick up and make it tidy for tomorrow. It goes a long way. It's not the easiest thing in the world for people to listen to, because a lot of people in the construction world just chalk it up to a job site. I think another thing we do well is, like, I think for us, like, the last 1% takes 10% of the time. I mean, but that's what separates us from others. And the attention to detail on everything. I mean, if there's a single wall that's not plumb, we're fixing it. If there's anything, if a trim board ever splits, that's unacceptable for us. It's from A to Z, top to bottom. I mean, look at our electrical walkthroughs. We're going over, is your thermostat going to shine on the wall at night and bother you when you're sleeping? Like, we cover everything, and that's to the kind of detail that I think people need to be looking for more. And I think that's the reason why our reputation precedes us now, and like, we're probably the busiest people around doing what we're doing down on the island. And holding that standard, I mean, everybody that works for us, they know what they're after, and anytime that we have problems with them, what do? We make sure it's right. We always do. Even if it's, talking to the neighbors and letting them know, hey, if anything happens to your property in the middle of building, promise you, we'll always take care of it. Goes a long way building the relationships with the neighbors, people next door in the community. And then, their word of mouth of, hey, when we had this construction site next to us for 2 years, these guys made sure everything was right. No matter, I know it can be annoying for them, but we hold that attention to detail, not just for ourselves, for the people around us too. I think it really does a lot for us,
Yeah, I think it goes into overall just having that integrity too, as builders, as a team. You know, we're always taking care of people. We always own up to our mistakes, like you said, too. If there's something with the neighbor's property, we always own up to it. We take care of it. Even with the homeowners, too. You know, one of our clients said to me the other day, or not the other day, this was a few weeks ago. He's like, one thing I love about you guys is that you always take care of something fast. When you make a mistake, if you make a mistake, and he goes, and the few we've had are the few little, you know, things that were out of place. He goes, you guys just take care of it.
Just gets fixed.
And it's not, you know, it's your fault or anybody's fault. It's our fault. We take ownership of it and we move on and we just get it done. And what can we do to keep things moving forward is kind of our attitude too. And a lot of the things with our standard and holding it, like our clients, like you talked about, they all become close to us. They're friends. It's like a friendship. It's a bond. You know, it's like they're happy to see us. They're happy to come into the office. You know, like Zubin came into the office the other day. I haven't seen him in a while. And
I know.
like, what's up, man? Yeah. You know, how you been? You got to come over. You got to see the house. Like, we got
come
everything
on the boat,
in it.
You know?
It's like you don't get that, or come fishing with me, or this and that. It's like you don't get that, but we have such like a passion, and going to the job cleanliness thing too. Getting together as a team's been one of the bigger things for us, I think, too, and kind of coming up with strategies of like, how can we set that standard? How can we make that standard higher? Because we see the competition, we see what they're doing. Okay, how can we move faster here, or get these subs in line here? Do we need to have a meeting there? You know, that's, I think, what keeps us rising above, because this day and age, customer service is the number one thing.
Yeah,
and that's what we focus on.
And like for us too, it's, if a problem does come up, I'm going to get the people that need to be involved in this, or the only people that need to be involved in this, to immediately get the solution. None of the outside noise matters. It doesn't need to be pointing fingers. It's let's find a solution, go from there. Like, for us, we have so many great people that we work with that we don't even really have to bat an eye to. Like, I know that the plumbers can get in there, jam through it, inspection's perfect every time. We've got the best guys working for us. You know, if we ever try someone out new, it's a little bit of a growing pains, but a lot of people are starting to realize, or are coming to us wanting our business because they know the standard that we have. Like, even home cleaning, for example, like, we were slightly unhappy with things. We made it right. We have a meeting, talk with people, everybody gets on the same page, bam, we're good to go. I think that's something that we're very quick to do as well. Even with, like, separate from fixing job site problems, if there's anything that we're unhappy with, we always just make it right, or we'll find someone new if needed. But I think that's part of holding the standard that we do too, and it leads to that trust in our customers as well, or homeowners as well, of like, they always find the right solution for things. We're always honest about what is going on. If anything's ever comes up during the build, we'll come to them first, get it rectified. If there is something that needs to be done, we always get it done. And I think that's something that is just super pivotal for us, especially in this world right now. Like, people just want to be educated on what's going on with their homes. They want to know that it's in good hands. And like, we have so many clients or homeowners that don't even come to the job sites for quite a while, because they have full trust in us that it'll just get taken care of. And then, you know, we see at the end when we have closings and stuff, like, it's almost like this, sometimes you see it in the homeowners, if they're like sad that it's over with because we stopped coming by, or if there's little things here and there that we got to stop by after closing, and you see them and they're like, oh, it's so good to see you guys. We haven't seen you in a while, or we're so used to seeing you guys all the time. And building that relationship with them, like you said, I mean, man, it's been super cool to be able to be a part of it too, especially a place that holds this standard that's so high in a day and age where pretty much the bare minimum gets by is nice to see.
Yeah, it's always interesting. Like, you know, Bobby and I had to grow up doing these things, and that's why I think we're so picky on everything. Like, I've talked about scraping windows and cleaning them myself with a wood shim and a can of WD-40. Like, and being on a 2-story ladder, that type of thing. But it's like, that's the expectation that should be done for every single home, no matter what the size, what the customer is, and no matter what. And we've done a really good job doing that. Obviously, we can perfect it. We can continue to and that's why us as a team, we're always talking every week. We're like, all right, what can we do better? How can we do it?
Every house is better than the last.
Yeah.
And I think that not just going through the motions and being okay with where we're at is something that's been super important to us too. Like, you fitting that goal into our lives, as well as us knowing the better that we do, the farther we'll go with you. Mm-hmm. And that's something that means a lot to us on the ground too. But genuinely, I can say that every house is better than the last. We learn how to process things better. Matt and I out in the field, we learn how to refine what we do better, where to give more responsibility to people. So we're really just learning where we fit and exactly what we're supposed to be doing. I mean, I came into this completely green, started as a laborer, and then was able to put myself in this position, or make myself valuable enough to be in this position, and just soak up all the information as a sponge, but also still knowing, like, I only know what I know, and there's so much more to know. Mm-hmm. And being okay with that, sometimes it's frustrating, like not being able to get someone an answer quick, or not having the answer for something, or just not know simply what's going on sometimes. That is a feeling that I really despise. And being able to learn as much as possible, like with Bobby and your dad now helping out with learning some of the concrete phase and everything. I mean, that's been good for me, because learning the upfront part really helps me foresee the second hand of the build, or the second part of the build, really, once the structure's up, and being able to foresee problems, troubleshoot things hopefully ahead of time before we even have to go to a homeowner and say, hey, we might need to make an adjustment on this. Just being able to get these things done quick has been super vital to learn too. And it helps me know that I'm not just being stationary. I'm being able to learn, grow, and hopefully end up being one of the best supers around. You know, I think I've got a great relationship with a lot of the guys that we work with. You know, trying to learn as much Spanish as possible. It helps a lot too, that they respect me a lot more when I'm able to communicate with them efficiently, especially down here. You know, it's we get a lot of it, so it's super convenient being able to talk with them, work through problems, and not cause delays, and just always be getting better. When there's meetings that need to be had, get people on site, get it taken care of. Don't need any outside noise. Fix it, move on.
The one thing I wanted to highlight in what you said, and it was very important, is the leadership aspect of it too. Is like, you know, it's not just one person that's a leader in this company. And I talk to you guys about that all the time. It's you guys are leaders. We're trying to mold you into a leadership role too. And what's been very impressive with you and Matt is, you know, you didn't start with experience. And I talk about this in top contractor school with people I coach and stuff like that, is you know, it's not you don't always need a full experienced person. Like, yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time to train people and for people to learn, but look at yourself, how fast you've learned, and you're running how many jobs now? 5 jobs?
4, and probably about 6 to 7 years there.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you have the capability of doing that. You're learning the beginning stages. I mean, hopefully my insurance guys aren't watching this, but he was out spreading concrete the other day trying to learn, you know, be in the trenches and actually learn. That's how I learned too. You know, I was a laborer forever, and I would do that. So my dad would make me do everything, you know, but that's how you learn the process, and you're willing to learn too. Matt's willing to learn, you know, and it's been such a great thing watching you guys kind of all just keep leveling up. And I always say the sky's the limit. Like, there's no stop to where we're going to, because in my mind, we have that big vision as a company, to be the largest custom home builder, luxury custom home builder in the state of Florida. Is that vision and that goal. It's like, you know, how are we going to get there? Well, I need people like yourself. I need people like Matt that are continuing to step up, to train other people. And we bring other people that fit within the culture too. Like, our team is such a tight-knit group. It's like everybody we've been kind of adding now, and even new people, they've fit well, and it's like just a good thing. Like we all work well together, we all joke around, but we get our stuff done. Right.
I think like that was something that Sal Frisella back at First Form used to always say, was like people always ask him, like, where do these employees come from? And they would always joke about how they shake the perfect employee tree, but it's seriously like you have to trust in people, or find the right. I know that's hard to say, is just find the right people, but the right people will honestly find you. And when those opportunities come up, you can't push them away. I mean, look at all of the doors that have opened between us, the guys that we have on board now, the ladies we have on board now. Everything has always been this perfect movement. Not perfect sometimes, but this, when you look back at how it happened, it's like, oh, where did that come from? Or there's always some underlying beautiful reason of how it happened. And I think just waiting for those moments sometimes, and they kind of seek you out. But I think another important thing too is, like, for me personally, being able to have the responsibility that I do, I would say it's a high amount of responsibility and trust that you guys have on us. But I'll say for me, like even 9 months ago, man, when I just had one project that I was running, like I was stressed, and I thought I was like, man, I don't know what else that I could take. But as you work through these things, being able to learn and develop, like, and then it was one project that's bigger, and then a little bit less stress on that. And then it was the next project that's even more complex, but the stress level fell a little bit. And me being able to understand that and go, well, this pattern's going to repeat itself to at some point, I'm not going to have really much stress about these at all. Now I've got 4 current projects going. I mean, large responsibility on top of what's going on. And man, I can say that it genuinely, I feel much better and confident in myself, and I think that's much more evident to probably everyone around too. I mean, even the subs, like when I deal with people now, like I really just try and just get it done. Like it's just, it needs to be right the first time. If you don't make it right, you're coming back to fix it. I don't care, and you're gonna make it perfect. And I think you and Bobby could both say, like, I really didn't even like calling people on the phone probably 6 to 9 months ago. And I don't even care now. It's like, buddy, you're getting here and getting it right. But being able to learn, and you guys, I know it probably hasn't been the easiest with some of us, but letting us learn and grow has been extremely vital to me. And I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, no, man, we're grateful for you, and extremely grateful for you. And like going back to what you just said there too, like if we didn't allow you to go through that, like, you wouldn't be where you are today, right?
For sure.
If we didn't put you in the trenches. I had this conversation with my dad, about the bigger project, one of the bigger projects we're doing, and he's like, he was kind of like old school mindset, like work your way up, this and that. But he was like, I don't know if you guys were ready for something that scale. And I said, so when would we be ready?
Right.
When would Bobby be ready? And I talked with my brother about it, and he's like, the only way to do it or the only way to move forward is to learn, right? And do it. And that's what I said to my dad. I go, if we never do these things, how are we going to keep leveling up? How are we going to keep, if we don't get uncomfortable in situations and figure them out?
Right.
That's business, man. Business is always learning. Like, how many times in this business, it's always something different.
It's always
I've been doing this my whole life, and it's like I feel like every month, every week, there's something
new. Yeah, it never ends. But I mean, like, when is it ever the perfect time? Even when it comes to like yourself having a family, it's never a perfect time. I mean, the ball is hardly ever in your court when it comes to the game of life. But all you can do is control what you can control, be willing to learn, make mistakes. And I think like with a project like that, it's the same way probably how Matt and I are learning, where as that threshold gets bigger, the stress level and what we consider hard or impossible becomes smaller and smaller. And then we become, or grow as a company, larger and larger, to projects that you drive downtown Naples or something when you're like, I can't even imagine how you run a job site like that for
we will
2 years. Yeah, like
40,000 square feet, 50,000 square feet. It's coming.
We don't have an idea, but we'll get it done.
Yeah.
Like, it's just how it is. And I think that's something that for us, like keeping the pedal down, always learning, always improving, is something that I think people that watch know that, man, that goes a long way this day and age. There's not much left of it. And I think, like you said as well, too, when it comes to customer service, I mean, I don't see people who have relationships with their builder the way that we do. I mean, I think I have genuine friends that have come from this, and the connections that I've made, especially being a young guy in this atmosphere. You know, construction's sometimes not the easiest whenever I'm talking to people that are sometimes double my age, almost always older than me. And, you know, me trying to uphold a standard to the nth degree sometimes isn't the easiest task, but I think the people that work for us know now our reputation precedes us, and we're seriously, I genuinely believe, able to build some of the nicest homes around. And I think that goes such a long way.
Yeah, man. On the client thing too, it's like, you know, we had a client appreciation party. How many builders do that? Where 100 people show up, and you know, of your past clients, and are all just happy to be there, happy with the product. You know, we still had to talk about some home stuff with them.
Right.
And, you know, my dishwasher's not working here and there, or something like that. But that's part of this business. But it is an amazing thing. Like, I consider some of our clients mentors to me too. You know, I need to talk to a lot of them more and catch up with a lot of them as well. I always think about that, but you know, I've gone to dinner with a lot of them over the years, and it's just built good, solid relationships with. And a lot of these people they're entrepreneurs. They're business. These houses were their dreams, man.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like, we're building dreams. We're literally like, these people, their whole lives have been dreaming about having these houses, and we get to do it.
Right.
And eventually, we're gonna be doing the same thing. You know, building houses, whether it's in the mountains or on the water or whatever, wherever we want to be. And it's like, we're going to get there too, because that's the vision of this business. And it's awesome, man. It's been awesome. And then that all goes back to that standard we have.
And man, I just seriously, being in the position that I'm in right now has been, I'm extremely grateful for it. And being able to continue to develop into someone that, like, having trust in myself, in the people that work with us, our coworkers. I mean, I think we've got a great group of people around, and like, I genuinely can say with how First Form is, the relationships matter so much. And, you know, keeping clients updated, up to schedule, educating them about what's going on with the house, because as this is their dream, a lot of them still want to know everything going on with it. You know, a lot of the guys come around, they love watching the concrete part. They love, all guys like big machines and cool, loud stuff. So, like, me now, I do drone shots for a lot of the big projects. I'd say almost every week, and put them on our app that we use for it. And I think a lot of people appreciate that, because you get to see this house almost as a Lego piece be built from the ground up now. And whenever, you know, people don't really get to see their house from an aerial view, but sending them high quality pictures of when their stone cladding gets put on the front of, you know, man, it means a lot to people for me to also have enthusiasm about their house. And like Kathy, let's take her pictures, for example. I mean, if you look at her notes she writes on them, she's always enthusiastic about it. And I think that goes a long way with keeping people happy, updated. And like, that's what I would want if I was building a house, having the communication, hardly ever getting a code violation.
Yeah,
you
city
know,
loves us.
Yeah, the city is
all cities love us.
Yeah, all
Naples,
cities.
Marco, we're loved.
But keeping things at bay like that, like where homeowners don't have to worry, like we said, keeping the job sites clean, organized, getting people there when they need to be there, working through problems and stuff. It's something that I think makes RK Reiman. And even having your dad around, you see it's evident in even how he still looks at things. Like, it's perfection to the T. And, you know, we've talked about like these people get to pick out every single thing from top to bottom in their house. And I think to myself, well, if I got to do that, how enthusiastic would I be about this project? And man, that would be awesome. So I have to carry that same enthusiasm because I'm taking on the responsibility of holding the standard of building this person's dream, and being able to correlate that into how our guys work. Everything needs to be square. Everything needs to be perfect. If it's not, what are we going to do? Have a meeting. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about why we're unhappy with it, because we need perfection. This isn't just get it together and be done with it. Things come up, things happen. Sometimes things take a little bit longer than we want, but have we ever really had someone at the end be like, man, I don't like this house at all?
No,
I mean,
never.
It's always, man, I'm just so stoked and blown away with the house. Like the guy yesterday, he was like, I can't even believe how strong the towel bars are on the wall. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, that's good to hear, man. Like that means a lot. But
yes.
when you go in these people's houses, I luckily am able to now start to see them furnished and when they're living in them. Because to me, when I look at these houses, a lot of times I just see 2 years of a job site. Like I just see, there's concrete behind that. Mm-hmm. There's, I remember when that took a month to get taken care of or something like that. And then you walk into someone's house and you see them living in it, how happy they are. They've got guests over. They're thrilled about it. That's the best feeling ever, whenever you get to see people really enjoy their dream, and they're always happy about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best thing for me to see. It's super gratifying too, which in construction, not too many times does someone go, sweet, good job, man. And that's a great way to get some gratification out of it too. But also, if you just uphold the standard on everything you do, people notice.
Yeah.
And also not being afraid of, like, one thing I started doing is if I have some of my guys that do a really, really good job, I don't mind calling their boss and telling them, hey, man, he's been doing a really good job, because I don't think people get to hear it enough.
Yeah, that's good.
And, like we have a plumber who, he's unbelievable, man. I call his boss and tell him, hey, man, he's doing an amazing job right now. Just want to tell you that. I'm sure you probably don't get to hear it often. He doesn't need to know that I called, or the guy who I'm calling about, but hopefully his boss hears that and goes, okay, I do have someone.
That Raul?
Yeah, man.
Shout out.
Yeah, Raul's a good guy. And
I think he's on Facebook. He watches. Shout out to you, Raul.
Yeah, man. But it goes a long way too. Like I notice it when people care. You don't get to see it too much in this day and age of people that, what's in front of them, let's put all my energy into that and do it right, do it correct. It's, the personal standard now is not excellence. It's, I'll just get by, do the bare minimum, and move on to the next thing. Sometimes poses a problem for us, especially with, sometimes if we don't know exactly who the workers are and stuff, you have to get things done 2 or 3 times to make it right, but that's something that we always take care of. But I think it is important too to still highlight the guys that are, or at least tell them as well too, hey, thank you for sweeping up at the end of the day. You even cleaned up for people you didn't need to clean up for. I don't like that you had to do that, but I appreciate that you care about our job site enough to still take care of things. And when you do something like that too, or even just saying thank you to someone, or if you see someone do the right thing, telling them, hey man, appreciate that. Or someone calls you back when they say they're going to call you back. Hey man, I appreciate the call back. I think maybe that even just gives them 1%, 5% more of being like, all right, I'll always make sure that we do the right thing here. Or if you say you're going to do something for someone, follow through on your word. I think that's something that still sticks around in construction is your word does matter a lot. If you say you're going to do it, please show up or call me, and we don't forget about those things. You get a few chances before we go, can't do it anymore. It's perfection. It has to be perfection. I think that's what makes us great. Yeah,
man, I love that. And what you were going on right there is a whole nother topic. Mm-hmm. So when you come back on again, we're going to definitely hit on your word and really continue to tap into. I love what you said about talking, with the subs calling their bosses, just because they need more of that too. Because not a lot of companies do a good job at that. And, They need that appreciation, because that's it's a trickle effect. It always goes down the line, and that's why they perform better on our jobs compared to some other builders that don't treat them right, which we've heard from our subs. They deal with that quite a bit.
I don't think I have any guys on site that don't like working for us.
Yeah.
Like, people prefer to be on our job sites because we're not, like, we're good people.
Yeah.
Like,
they can tell.
It's not hard to be a good person no more, you know? And I think that just goes a long way, man. And, you know, I know that we're still their boss, but having good relationships with these guys too, once you get the standard set with them, that's the hardest part. But once they know the standard, everybody's on the same page, things go so much smoother. Now, working through that with certain people might not be the easiest thing in the world. Some people make me want to slam my head on this desk, but it's just how it goes. But keeping the standard high, making sure things are right, especially in 2025, man. I mean, I don't think that it doesn't take too much more. Like, it's just do it right the first time, make it perfect always.
Love it, man. Love it. Yeah, we'll continue the discussion. This was awesome. Appreciate you. Appreciate your time and you doing this too. This was great. I'm sure everybody watching too really loved hearing about this because it's how we operate. It's the real deal, man. So appreciate each and every one of you guys too that are watching this. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays. Mason will be back as well here in the near future. We got a couple other of our team members that we're going to have on as well. If you guys, because we've been having a little issues with Instagram, if you have not seen this on Instagram, you should be seeing it now, I hope. But if you haven't seen the past 2 episodes, those are on YouTube and on Facebook. Go check those out with Liz and my sister. And we're going to have a lot of guests within Naples and Marco Island coming on, business owners, and we're looking forward to it. So with that being said, we're out. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Happy 4th.
The Real Build is about building better culture, leaders, visionaries, community to better serve the client. I'm your host, Bill Reiman, your broker builder, and I'm here to showcase real business owners building companies with integrity, trust, and a commitment to making a positive impact. Join us as we explore their stories, insights, and strategies for success. With that being said, welcome to The Real Build.